Hey there, how there, ho there, it's Jeff Cutter down and welcome you to quarterfinal action of the NCAA 2nd and 10 tournament with teams from 1900 to 1949. To make the team, you have to have a great moment. From 1900 to 1949, we had 9 teams. Well, nine teams came from the Cutter 128 team tournament, which I started September 2025 and ended just recently, in which every school got one team in 128 schools, 128 teams. You have to be an IA, like the top division. Anyhow, we have ourselves from 16 down to 8. We have the 1945 Army squad, the 39 Tennessee, 1924 Notre Dame, 48 Vanderbilt, 38 A&M, 40 Minnesota, 38 Texas Christian, and 34 Alabama. If I remember correctly, the 45 Army team was the team picked to be in the tournament. Unless I went 98 Tennessee. I think I went 39 Tennessee with that. The 1924 Notre Dame was the team. 1948 Vanderbilt. 39 A&M. 40 Minnesota. I think 6 of these teams were the teams that were picked. Well, anyway, we're going to start our quarterfinal action in Tennessee. The University of Tennessee. It's the 45 Knights against the 39 Foals. Here we go. Watkins at 24. Tucker at Pivot. Glenn Davis and Dr. Mike Mr. Inside. Outside right back. Chuck Williams. Peg Goldberg. Clyde Rims. Offensive line. Tex Goldberg. John Green. James Ingles. Aaron Meta. And Tennessee's team. Ed Cyphers and Art Shires. Actually, yeah, this is the team I used for Tennessee in the country tournament because Reggie Lake was on Pickens. Linebacker. Sam Barker. Hacksaw Reynolds. And Blake Clay. Eric Burry, George Cerebro, John Butler, John Wilson. 8 yards to 10 yards. Iron 2. Pass.
First down.
Shires, Reggie White, Hacksaw Reynolds, and Blake Clay are playing because of their offensive defense. Army D-line, Ed Goldberg, James Ingles, Texas Culture, Brett Butcher, John Green, and Arthur Meta are your linebackers. Arnold Tucker, Glenn Davis, Mike Sauer, and Tony red zone till the fourth quarter. Red zone, finding red zone fourth quarter, 3 down.
extra point is good.
2 minutes. Tennessee's control. 33. Down 37 to nil. It's point.
First down.
First down. Glenn Davis ran for 2 touchdowns, 140 yards. BT full. So he go 1 for 5, 9 yards, 82 yards. 3 for 8, 14 yards. 14. Walter House was the main quarterback, 5 for 8, 66 yards. He threw for a touchdown. Glenn Davis, 3 for 3, 72 yards. Sauer threw an interception. Yeah, Davis 140. Blanchard 96. Adams had 200-yard guys. Blanchard and Davis 74 yards for a touchdown, make it 23-0. And then Walter House full, and then McWilliams made 37. Giants Army 32 minutes to Tennessee 28. Tennessee, the longest yardage was 31. Yeah, red zone. They had 7 red zones. Everyone was available. Yeah, well, Army crushed Tennessee. They are still without a point given up. So yeah, 45 Army's back to next shots. What did I do? Anyway, 24 Notre Dame, 48 Vanderbilt. Notre Dame at 27. No Albert Layton is hurt today. That's actually bad news. Took out 40 Michigan, 46. Vanderbilt took out 19. Don Miller, Jim Crowley, Trey Kendrick, the running backs, Dave Casper, Justin Tuck, like his own breaker, Adam Walsh, Rolo Kaiser, and Charles Woodcock for your line. Vanderbilt's D line, Doug Malsberger, Charlie Hoover, Russ Buckberry, Jerry Spear, Jim Tabor, Ed, Earl Stewart, Calhoun, your linebacker, Joe Hicks, Bill Brookwell, Blaine Bell, Dick Here we go. And no waiting.
First down.
First down, Liver good, Liver bad. Liver gets 3 yards.
First down. First down. First down.
We'll see about that.
Flag on the play.
False start.
Offense.
Offense.
Flag on the play.
Personal foul. Defense. First down.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense.
The kicker is no good.
First down. Timeout. Defense.
Flag on the play.
Flipping. Offense.
Flag on the play.
Delay of game. Offense. Timeout. Defense.
The kicker is no good.
Well, I mean, might as well.
Timeout. Defense. Timeout. Defense.
Welcome to the 14. Ernie missed. Passing to 2 for 10, line for 9 yards, 3 interceptions. So Vanderbilt threw more interceptions than completions. Running attack, everyone ran. Ernie only ran 4 times. Riley ran 18 times more, 14 attempts, but they sucked. Brian Wheeler forced 5-7 yards on the touchdown. This was more than Carney ran 15 yards, probably off two, and then Carney touchdown. So Carney basically was just there for the taking for Carney. And Layden was unavailable. That hurts. Really hurts. All right, on to Minnesota as they host the 39 A&M squad. Speaker Bob Pavra and Joe Jamnick are your running backs. Chad Baker, Bill Johnson, defensive line. Urban Oxford, Bob Cisco, Bob Yorkman. Ajay Kuman, A&M Kuman, Kirby Smith. Marshall Romenet, linebacker, Tanya Adish. Burn Cube, Darius Moser, John Kimball, and Jeff. David Crow, Darius Moser, John Kimbrough are your defense. Kirby Smith, Bernie Canal, Marshall Robert, Tommy Vaughn, Jalen Hill, Carol Porter, right? Minnesota's defensive line, Bill Johnson, Urban Officer, Dick Weld, and Bob Finch, Bill Casisto, Hedrick, Puma, Bob Beard, Bruce Smith, not that Bruce Smith from Buffalo, George Frank, Bob Sweeter, and Bob Patrick, defense backs. Blake, Bob Hoffman.
Good.
First down. Timeout, offense. First down.
That kick is no good.
Holding. Receiving team. First down.
Smith caught 2 touchdown passes. He's the MVP, although motion was enough. Minnesota had more return yards, only took 9 yards. Texas kind of out. 8 turnovers combined. Box score. Smith and Frank 1 for 12 for no yards. Frank did run for 132. Keel 2 for 6 for a touchdown. Manziel 2 for 6 for a touchdown. Kimbrell threw a 59-yard touchdown pass, so 3 touchdown passes. Kimbrell was one who threw to Smith. Manziel in the second quarter, Cannon, and then Fields and Smith. 111 yards running for Kimbrell. And a touchdown. Let's go. There's no separate out of the end. Bobcat missed 3 extra points. That could have been much worse. The drives, yeah, Minnesota had 4 drives, but they still had 4 trips to the red zone for Minnesota had 3. Recap was unavailable. So yeah, we're gonna have 4 very good defenses, probably. Well, on to Baylor.
Flag on the play.
Clipping. Receiving team.
Dixie Howell at pivot, Jimmy England, Glover, Nesbitt, and Riley Smith running the ball. I can the left here. That's a fair right. Yes, that fair right. Jim Wadley, Charlie Moore, Kate Francis, Bob Pitt, Carl Billier, Ryan, Texas Christian Line, Doran Porter, Ellen White, Bud Taylor, Darlene. Honey Sparks, Kai Eldridge, and Moore Wilson, linebackers, A.B. O'Brien, Eric Clark, Kenny Hall, John.
First down.
Wade, Bud Taylor, and Kai Eldridge for the first play, and Kai Hale for the first play. And it's been like Todd Hudson, John White. Right? David Yovanovich, Charlie Moore, and Bob Ed Morrow. Linebackers, Jimmy England. Dixie Allen, who's our
first down. First down. First down.
Snap loser. First quarter up 7-15.
Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense.
Third and 11.
Touchdown. The extra point is good.
14-0. Alabama in the red zone. Up 14-0 in the second quarter. 3 seconds.
Flag on the play.
Illegal use of hands. Offense.
Carson Fuller. Carson Fuller for 3. Carson tried.
No good. Flag on the play.
Holding. Offense.
Number 16. It's an on-field attempt. Red zone. Bama.
Flag on the play.
False start. Offense.
Kick is good.
Allison control 48 yards and touchdown. Riley 2 for 9 yards. Andrew 8 yards, but Howell 116. Brian 9 for 19, 16 yards. So yeah. So You got your final four, and only three. Yeah, it was boring. It was three shutouts, and Vanderbilt got a field goal in the fourth quarter. So the home teams, well, three home teams lost with a combined 3 points. Bama put up 23 on Texas Christian. Hello. Semifinals will be Army Notre Dame and A&M Bama. Yeah, you have two of the great teams face each other. A&M Bama will be challenging each other for the trip to the final. So at least one of Army and Notre Dame actually do fumble. A&M has their all-time players. Bama does not. That's a 60s team, I think. Army and Notre Dame. So we got the final four. In essence, a lot of people will be probably like, what about Texas Christian? Well, anyway, final four summary. Glenn Davis was named Offensive Player of the Week for Army, 140 yards running. Marshall Rubman of A&M gets to play Defensive Player and Special Teams. Richard Oldhouse. Davis has run for 252. Kimbrell 251. Yeah, passing leader. Well, that's not even close because of everything. So yep. Okay, so Army Notre Dame, A&M Bama next week. That should be an interesting Valentine's Day. And then next Saturday, the 21st, is the championship game. Yeah, I know a lot of you probably be wondering, what about Texas Christian? So anyway, wait, is it you can add 15? Oh, oh 15 file. Oh, you can't do that. Okay, you can't do that. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, Cutter's NCAA NCAA Super Tourney. It gives you the teams. Texas Christian was the 1938 team. How come we don't see like LT and all that? Huh, that was the team. Yeah, that was the team, 1938. Huh, that's weird. You didn't see any legends. Hmm. Yeah, I thought you know. Yeah, where are the legends? Where's the roster? Huh. I guess I didn't. Huh. That's weird. I would have put Texas. I would have put like Danny Tomlinson and all that. Huh. Maybe I did. Maybe I did choke on putting Texas Christian players in because I would have put LT. I would have put those guys in. Okay. Well, whatever. Whatever you want. So that's our final four. I'm babbling. I might as well leave. Anyway, I'm Jeff Diamond.